All right, y'all, we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business. We're going to see for these two Google searches if BSS is present. All right, so we're back here in the GBC universe where we take declining boudoir photographers to the number one boudoir photographer in their city. Our North Star here is, as always, is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. And more about that, pinned video, pinned post somewhere around here. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our FSIC graph here in white. Got way on the left, we got the highest intent peeps. These are like, social searchers, Google searchers are searching for boudoir photo shoot in my city, like today. Focus on those peeps here. In our video is talking about BSS. And way over on the right, we got the lowest intent people that ain't searching for boudoir right now. And most of them have no idea what the heck boudoir even is. So we reach them through interruption ads through Facebook and Instagram. And we talk about that on our sister brand channel over there, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor. And we currently only work with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads. So, BSS boudoir search sameness, that is when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google. 0 slots, terrible. That means we're dying a fast death because we know approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. Page 1 is it's where approximately 80% of Google searches stop. So they're page one only searches. And if we got 1 slot on page 1, that still ain't good because we're looking the same as everyone else. There's 10 organic slots, page 1 on Google. So, there can be 9 other boudoir photographers. And if everyone's got 1 slot, then guess what a buyer's doing? They're saying, oh, everyone looks the same here. No one stands out. And they're getting, hitting everyone's contact form, getting price quotes from everyone, and price shopping, comparing, driving margins down, negotiating. And, this is a business killer as well. And 0-1 slots on page 1 of Google search is actually not normal. It's a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. Yeah, to have that few number of slots, not normal. It's 2 deeper root causes are market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, most people know what that is. Over time, people get new iPhones, get new cameras, kind of like upgrade their gear naturally. And as they continue, they eventually, throw up their Google Maps profile saying they now offer boudoir photo shoots. They also throw up their website saying they offer boudoir photography, and they actually start posting them on Facebook groups that they do boudoir photo shoots now. Basically, more sellers for the same number of buyers makes it harder for all boudoir photographers at the same time. Now, the second one, the false belief of page 1 equality. This one, boudoir photographers believe that every boudoir photographer basically kind of gets 0-1 slots on page 1 of Google, and either they have it or they don't. Either Google gives it to them or they don't. So maybe they're page 1 slot 8, and some market saturation happens. They go to page 2, slot 3, and they're like, well, that's how it is. And they're like, I hope those people above me delete their website so Google can rank me on page 1. But this is the 100% wrong thought process to have, because we now know for a fact that Google actually give us as many slots on page 1 as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And I know this because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 of Google search in only 10 days with this new methodology we developed, which you'll be seeing in a little bit. Now, a boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is a disappearing boudoir photographer DBP. That's because, if you 0-1 slots page 1, both situations, we're practically invisible. And so this kind of the warning light, the first, the canary in the coal mine for a disappearing boudoir photographer that's telling us we are on the path to our boudoir photography business itself disappearing. But thankfully now we have a solution because through our testing we've discovered BSS is actually treated with social search saturation, aka S-Cube's methodology. And the way it works, it's exactly as the name says. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, so we show up there as many times as possible, right at the top. And it's kind of like the snow at the top of the Andes Mountains down in South America, on the backside of the Andes Mountains, the eastern side. And basically, when the snow down there melts, it forms into small streams, small rivers. Eventually, all that water collects to the Amazon River. Page 1 of Google is that Amazon River. Page 1 Google search. So we got to get the snow up top the mountains first for the water to then flow into the Amazon River. And the best way to get the snow up top, saturating social search. And this is the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that actually gives them a chance to actually still grow their business in the face of massive and increasing market saturation in a relatively quick time frame. The only other solution I've seen that also gives the benefit is having a large, well-known brand. But dude, that takes 5 to 10 years. AI is here taking peep jobs. We ain't got time to build one of those. But kind of an extra benefit of S-Cube methodology is my estimate is it will actually build a brand about 8x faster in traditional ways because we're on so many different surfaces with such a high frequency than everyone else. Kind of just naturally leads to a large, well-known brand being built. So example of boudoir photography business still growing even in the face of more and more market saturation. Let's say we are in Bangor, Maine. There's a million boudoir photographers there, and we're one of them. Everyone's got their boudoir photography website, trying to rank page 1 on Google. And what's actually happening is, we're like, dude, we don't have a brand. How the heck are we going to compete? We actually, the only solution is S-Cube methodology. So we crank it up to, max level. Let's say we rank the first 300 slots for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords. And as we get those slots, let's say we get those to flow down onto Google page 1. Well, we actually get the first 300 slots on Google, so it's 10 slots per page. We're taking the first 30 pages. People basically got to go to page 31 to find any of our competitors. So if we got the first 300 slots where anyone looks, no matter how far they scroll, any social search or any on Google, whose boudoir photography business is still growing? Obviously ours, because our buyers can basically not even find our competitors. So our 999,999 other boudoir competitors are basically dying / vanishing, and we're basically the only ones still growing. So that's the most extreme example of S-Cubed methodology. Now, once treated with S-Cubed methodology, we now have page 1 visibility. So initial benefit, we get more slots on page 1, cool. Secondary benefit, every new slot we get on page 1, we actually kick, or second initial benefit, we actually kick competing boudoir photographers off page 1, effectively making them invisible. Dude, so we can do this to people right in our city. We can kick as many people off page 1 in our city as possible, because now we know Google will actually give us as many page 1 slots as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And a lot of boudoir photographers feel that this is actually their most favorite initial benefit. And page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. So this is when the GBC universe recommends we hit a minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page 1 of Google search, because basically everyone else will have 1 slot, every other boudoir photographer, so we got 3, we're dominating them just off of sheer appearance. And if in the super rare situation that one person has 2 slots, well, we got 3 and we dominate them as well. And finally, a boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer, a VBP. So we got our full micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. That's fine. We got our solution now. S cubed methodology gives us page one visibility. We become visible boudoir photographers with boudoir search visibility. All right, my results utilizing S cubed methodology for myself. I wanted to rank for the term BLCS boudoir. So I want to dominate page one for this. Sorry, I had 0 out of 10 slots, page one, Google search. So let's see my results using S cubed methodology. So organic slot one, Instagram, me. Slot two, me. Slot three, me. Slot four, me. Slot five, me. Slot six, me. Slot seven, me. Slot eight, me. Slot 10, me. So we got 9 out of 10 slots. I went from 0 out of 10 slots Google page one search to 9 out of 10 slots Google page one search in only 10 days, exclusively utilizing S cubed methodology. So now the big mission here, we're going to see if this boudoir photography business has BSS, boudoir search sameness, for either of these searches. So we got a local search, we got a city search here. So we got Bella Rosa. All right, not here, we're done there. Boom. All right, boudoir photography for Auburn, California. Seems like there's an Auburn in like every state. So boom, we got one. Boom, we got two. Boom, we got three. Boom, we got four. Boom, we got five. Awesome. People searching this, who are they clicking on? Who are they going to? Obviously going to the person most likely that's got 5 out of 10 slots. Awesome. And yeah, so we got insane coverage here. This is what we like to see. My bet is they're not disappearing. My bet is they're treading water or growing. All right, now we'll go to the big city. We want to have so they do not have BSS the first search. They hit the GBC minimum for the first search. Let's see here though. All right, so we got boom, 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 boom. Nope, nope. All right, we got 0 out of 10 here for the big city, Sacramento. So we got BSS here, and we got we did not meet the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 here for the large city. City's always harder. So we can take this back. So first search, no BSS. They do not. This boudoir photography business does not have boudoir search sameness. But yes, for the Sacramento, the large city search, 0 out of 10 slots, and we did not meet the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10. So if you're a boudoir photographer and you've got BSS boudoir search sameness for your own business, you're seeing the market's getting more and more saturated over time, and you feel like you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, or gonna become disappearing, because we'll talk about it in like 10 seconds. And you also see that the page one equality is a false belief. Like everyone kind of automatically accepted because there was no like word to describe it, to say, hey, I believe this is true or not true. But now we got a word to describe it. And you're seeing the way AI is creeping in. More and more people being laid off. Which, what was the last time that happened? COVID. What happened? Massive influx of boudoir photographers. Massive influx. Massive supply. All fighting for the same eyeball, approximately the same number of buyers. So it's getting harder and harder for each boudoir photographer that enters the market. And you're saying, okay, it looks like I do need the S cubed methodology to kind of preempt or prepare myself for AI pushing more boudoir photographers into the market, which means there's going to be more competition for page one on Google search. But if I can preempt that, get there already, and it's probably already happening right now as we speak, then we can be prepared to not become a disappearing boudoir photographer. We can achieve page one visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer, even though more are probably going to be joining, and achieve boudoir search visibility, and get the extra bonuses on the back end where kind of the more these thematic keyword columns are attached to our brand throughout social, things like that, social search, and the higher chance we show up in, AI overview search here at the top of Google searches, and the higher chance we show up among AI search in general, you know, ChatGPT search, Microsoft Copilot search, Google Gemini search, Claude search, Perplexity search, whoever. When we have these like thematic keyword pillars entwined with us across all our social channels, ranking on Google, this is where the AIs pull from. So we're increasing the probability to show up in all these searches as a back-end benefit. And we're also noticing that if someone else starts using S-cubed methodology for their boudoir photography business before us in our city, all those front-end benefits, page one Google, kicking competitors off could happen to us. And those back-end benefits, them showing up in AI search instead of us. And then, well, you wouldn't be able to work with me because I'm only working with one person per city. So you'd have to figure out S-cubed methodology on your own and then implement it all on your own. And you'd have to actually meet the work output of the other boudoir photographer using it in conjunction with me and exceed us to catch up and overtake us before we overtake page one on Google, kind of push it as far as we want to. And so you've decided, all right, it's better to simply be a first mover because you need this on your way to becoming the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. So if that's you, shoot me a DM when I open up for new patient intake. Right now the hospital's closed. My DMs are closed. Cannot get in even if you wanted to. But shoot me a DM for when I do open up the doors, and we'll see if you qualify. We gotta have some questions. Gotta make sure I'm not working with anyone else in your city. And yeah, we'll see if you qualify.